Okay, guys, we are now going to learn about 214. And in section 214, we're going to be working with the angles in a triangle. So open your notebooks. You can pause this if you need to. And at the top, you're going to put the date, which is September 22nd. And it is Thursday, hopefully my last day of jury duty. And you're going to put 214 angles in a triangle. So far this chapter, we've been talking about angles. When two lines are intersecting, you make vertical angles. And then we talked about when you have two parallel lines with a transversal, alternate interior angles, same side interior angles. We worked with corresponding angles. And we are now going to talk about what happens in a triangle. So most of you guys know that the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So looking at my first example on 2-38, I would add all three of these angles up. So this angle plus this angle plus this angle, and all three of them, x plus 40 plus 80, all three of them have to add up to 180 degrees. So if I combine 40 and 80, I get 120, subtract 120, my x has to be 60 degrees, okay? I would do the same thing for b. Add all the angles up, so 2x plus x plus 12 plus 96, and again, that has to equal 180 degrees. Combine your like terms, so 3x plus 108 equals 180. Subtract 108 and divide by 3. Let's see, 24. So x is equal to 24. Okay. And then again, this is called the triangle angle sum theorem. I would write this in your notes. All the angles in a triangle add up to 180. So find the measure of each angle in an equilateral triangle. So obviously if it's equilateral, that means it has all three equal angles. So 180 divided by 3 means each of the angles are 60 degrees. And a right isosceles triangle, also called a half square, find the measures of that. Again, I would do 180, take away 90. Okay, so that leaves me with 90 degrees that I have to split equally and divide it by 2, giving me 45 degrees. Okay, and then again, it's right isosceles, so you can fold it so those angles have to be equal. And so 45 plus 45 plus 90 is equal to 180. And so this is called a 45, 45, 90 right isosceles triangle. And then the last one, what would you know of an isosceles triangle if the measure of angle A is 34 degrees? So once again, if this is 34 degrees and these two angles have to be exactly the same, you can see that if you folded this isosceles triangle, and so I would do 180 minus 34 to give me 146, and then divide it by 2. So each of those angles is 73 degrees. Okay. Another thing is I'm stressing this to you. Please make sure you have vertical angles, okay, in your notes, two opposite angles that are made by two intersecting lines, and they always have equal measure, and they gave you an example over here, C and G. Those are vertical. Corresponding angles are in the same position, okay, but different intersections of the transversal. So this is one intersection, this is the other. You can see that D and M are both on the top right-hand side, so those are corresponding. And corresponding angles are only congruent when the lines are parallel, okay? Our next ones are alternate interior angles, opposite sides of the transversal, inside pair of the lines. So these are your Zorro or your Z angles right here and right here. Okay, also goes the other way, right here and right here. And again, alternate interior angles are congruent when the lines are parallel. I can't stress that enough. And then the last one is same side interior angles, and those are supplementary, again, when the lines are parallel. And you can see these are on the same side of the transversal, still on the inside. Okay, so these are 4 major things, and then the last thing, of course, is that inside of a triangle, any triangle, the angles all have to add up to 180 degrees. I thought it was really cool. I think there's an interactive piece in your book right here. And so you can see over here that no matter how, look at the angle measures, no matter how I move this, I can try to make it equilateral. No matter how I move it, the angles will equal, I can't get it to be 60, 60, and 60. But no matter how I move it, this is like addicting now. You guys should go to your ebook and try this. Try to get 60, 60, 60. That's close enough. But you can see that those angles will always add up to 180 degrees. You can see even if I make it really skinny, still 180 degrees no matter what. Okay, all the angles in a triangle are always going to add up to 180 degrees. See what happens when I make the green one smaller, the red one gets bigger. Make the red one smaller, the green one gets bigger. So, super interesting. Miss you guys. See you on Friday.